Hello everyone, welcome to class this evening. My name is Meredith Wolf. I'm coming at you from home, homegrown yoga from home. If you have a moment, take your time now to get settled, find a space, somewhere nice and flat with your mat or a rug, a towel, something you can get a firm grip on, and maybe consider keeping a prop handy. If you have a yoga block, of course, that's great. If not, you can always substitute a couple books for one instead. You can always tie them together with an old necktie or something like that. That's a nice backup. Or even just a pretty firm pillow. It's always a good option to have handy. And as always, I would suggest turning on some light music in the background, anything that you find soothing, whether instrumental or lyrical, anything you like. And of course, I do have a playlist on my Spotify page. It is called May 2020. We're almost on to June, but not quite yet. And I'm just Meredith Wolf there on Spotify, and you should be able to find it. But like I said, anything that you find relaxing will do. Now is a good time to put that on and get settled on the mat. You have basically two ways I'd suggest getting started. One is here in this comfortable cross-legged seat. You can root into the sits bones. Just root your body firmly to the mat, dropping the shoulders down the spine. Or of course, if you'd like to ground the body with a little bit more intention, you can come onto the knees, take them wide, bring the big toes together to touch, and then crawl the fingertips all the way out till the forehead comes down to the mat into your child's pose. Just whatever you find most relaxing this evening. If you've had a really busy day, sometimes child pose is a nice place to start. Just gently opening the hips and physically and mentally bringing the attention to the mat. If you've had a slow day, if you've been sitting all day waiting to get a chance to work out and move your body, then you might consider the strong seat, firming up the belly, maybe taking an inhale to the ears with the shoulders, and then exhale to let them come down the back. Maybe one or two more like that. Breathe in. And breathe out, rolling them down. One more, inhale. And exhale. And just settling into the breath wherever you are, finding a few moments of stillness before we begin to flow through a practice. Really honing into this breath now will only benefit you later, so dramatically increase those inhales and exhales, breathing in and out through the nose. Those inhales will fill the lungs to the very top till you don't think you can take in any more air. And then the exhales will slowly rinse out, hollowing the lungs all the way to the bottom. Deep breath in. Full breath out. A few more like that, filling up on the inhale, rib cage expands. Draining out on the exhale. Deep breath in. Full breath out. This is that Ujjayi breath. It's an oceanic inhale and exhale, flowing in and out like a wave. You can imagine it rinsing you out with every round. We'll take one more breath in. And a big exhale. Maybe taking 2 or 3 breaths here in silence. On your next inhale, bring movement to the head, finding neck rolls. The eyes can stay closed. As you breathe in, that head will draw towards one's shoulder. And as you exhale, it will come around the other, finding one direction for 3 or 4 rotations, taking it nice and slow, using the weight of the head to passively stretch the neck. Once you've done about 3 or 4, in one direction, gently begin to go the other way. Deep breath in, full breath out, making one rotation. maybe 2 more. After that last one, we'll meet back at center, gently lifting the chin, opening the eyes, and then as you're ready, make your way onto your hands and knees. Of course, if you were in that child's pose that whole time, because I forgot to tell you to sit up, you can just make your way onto your hands and knees now. Hopefully you found your way through a few neck rolls if you started there. But we're all going to meet here with a neutral spine, knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. We're just going to begin with a few cat-cows. On the breath in, the belly will drop, collarbones will roll open, and tailbone will tilt to the sky. And then as you exhale, bow the head round the spine, pulling the belly upward. Deep breath in, heart rolls open, belly is spreading. And then exhale, bow the head like an angry cat, rounding the spine. 2 more, deep inhale, maybe a little smile, and exhale. Last one, breathe in, and breathe out. Coming back to neutral, we will take the right foot out as a kickstand to the side. And then on an inhale, peel the left side of the body open. Left arm reaches up, left foot presses towards the back of the mat. Starting here with a modified side plank, feeling that stretch through the left side of the body as you press the foot down. Maybe you take a moment here, inhale, and then as you exhale, float that top arm overhead, breathing in, breathing out. You can stay here, of course. If you'd like a little bit more, you can lift that left leg to hip height. And then if you've got space, you might even consider bending that left knee, taking the left hand to the ankle, and kicking that foot into the hand, turning that heart gently towards the sky. Breath in, breath out. One more here, inhale, and exhale. Gently release on the breath in, not slingshotting the foot. And then exhale to come back to that tabletop. And take a moment to switch sides here. Finding a cat-cow to rinse that out. Breathe in, heart opens, tailbone lifts. And exhale, tucking and bowing the head. Coming back to your neutral spine. This time it's the left foot that kicks out to the side as your kickstand to begin. And on the inhale, it's the right side of the body that peels open. Starting with that right arm lifting towards the sky. Nice and firmly pressing that foot to the back of your mat. Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe you float that arm towards the front, pinky spinning down. Inhale and exhale. If you'd like, you can lift that right foot. And even for a little bit more, you might bend the knee and catch the foot with the hand. Breathing in, heart's opening slightly upward. Breathing out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Breath in, just slowly release the foot. And exhaling to come back to that tabletop. Let's find those cat-cows. Breath in, heart opens. Breath out to bow the head. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Breathe in. And breathe it out. Coming back to your neutral spine, we're going to plant the palms, tuck the toes. And on your next breath in, you'll lift the knees about 1 inch off the mat, taking a moment to pause here. You're lifting the knees so you've got a nice little right angle there. It's almost like you're in down dog, but not quite. Take a deep breath in, full breath out. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, sink those heels to the mat. Press the hips to the sky and find your downward facing dog. Taking a moment to settle into it here. Just feeling out this first one. You might pedal the heels slowly or wag the tail side to side. Really anything that feels good for you here. You can bend those knees gently. It'll bring some dimension into the legs. And you want to be sure to press firmly into both palms, focusing that weight towards the thumb and forefinger. Breathe in. Breathe out. Settling those heels if you haven't already. 2 more here. Building that breath. Inhale and exhale. 1 more breath in to fill up. And a full breath out. This inhale will rise to the toes. Bend the knees deeply towards the mat again. And then as you exhale, look forward and step foot to a fold at the top. Inhale to your halfway lift, palms pressing towards the shins so you have a flat spine. And then exhaling to bend back over the toes. Breath in, come all the way up, reaching the arms to the sky. And then exhale, bring them to heart center. Open them by the sides. Finding your Tadasana pose here for just a moment. Rooting into the feet, shoulder blades roll down the back. Deep breath in. Deep exhale. 1 more here. Inhaling. And exhale. We're going to make this Tadasana part of our Sun A's this evening. Breathe in to reach back to the sky. And then exhale to fold through heart center or swan dive, splitting the palms. Breath into that halfway lift. And then exhale to step both feet back to your high plank position. Just setting up this first one for a moment, but knowing that the knees can come down and the toes can lift at any time. If you're here, the wrists are right underneath the shoulders. You're pressing firmly into the hands so that you're hollowing through the armpits and filling the space across the shoulder blades. The big toes are touching. You're reaching those heels back to lengthen through the back of the legs. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Another to stay. If you can, inhale. And exhale. This breath in, we all drop the knees. Lift the toes. And then as you exhale, lower it all to the belly. Palms will come to the small of the waist. We'll breathe into a baby cobra, heart lifts. And then exhale to lower. This inhale, we come up halfway, keep a bend in the elbows, they come towards one another. And exhale to lower down. This time, full cobra, breathe in, come to those long arms, pressing into the top of the feet. And then exhale slowly this one, maybe taking a moment with me, pausing in a child's pose, just to release the low back this first time. You don't even have to bring the forehead down. Maybe those fingertips crawl forward. You might even look towards the front of the mat, but those hips are still sinking towards the heels. Deep breath in, deep breath out. 1 more here. Inhale and exhale. Breath in to lift off the knees, press those palms down, tuck the toes at the back of the mat, and then when you're ready, find your downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. We'll flow through that together. Inhale to rise to your toes. Exhale to bend and come forward to your fold. Inhale to that halfway lift. Exhale back to the toes. Breath in to come up. Maybe the palms touch overhead. As you exhale, they come through the heart into your Tadasana pose, opening by the sides. Breath in to reach back up. Maybe the eyes are closed this time. And then exhale to fold all the way down to the top. Woo, maybe you lose your balance on the way. Inhale, coming halfway up. And then exhale to play at the palms. Step it back to your high to low push-up. You can either lower halfway with the elbows pointing back, or you can drop the knees and lift the toes. Either way, coming down on the exhale, inhaling to lift the heart into cobra or upward dog. Deep breath in, and then the exhale takes you downward dog. Inhale to lift. Exhale to come all the way forward to your fold. Breath in halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhaling to lift up, reach the fingertips high. Exhale through heart center, opening by the sides. Breath in to lift once again. Exhale to fold or swan dive all the way down. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling through your push-up, whatever version you'd like to find. Breath in, heart lifts, upward dog or cobra. And then exhaling, hips to downward dog. Twice more. Breathe in to rise. Exhale to come to the top. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling to fold. Breath in, we rise up, lifting and touching the palms. Exhale, then come through the heart into your mountain pose. Deep breath in to reach once again. And exhale to fold or dive. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, high to low. Bring it to the mat. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, hips to downward dog. Last time through, inhale to the toes. Exhale to come all the way to the top. Breath into your halfway lift. Deep breath out to your fold. Inhale, rise, reach for it. Exhaling into that mountain pose, opening the palms. Deep breath in, lift it back up. Exhale, bring it all the way down. Inhale, halfway. And then exhale, chaturanga, that high to low push-up. Deep breath in, upward dog or cobra. Deep breath out, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here and a full breath out. One more here, resetting with those inhales and exhales. Breathe it in and breathe out. On your next breath in, that right leg is going to lift to your three-legged dog, finding whatever variation of it you would like. Maybe that right knee is bent and the hip is squared off, or it's beginning to open towards the right edge of the mat. Maybe that leg is straight and squared or extending towards the sky. Wherever you are, you're continuing to square the shoulders towards the mat, keeping any rotation in the hip. Left heel continues to sink. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. One more inhale. One more exhale. As you're ready, step that right foot through to that right hand. Left foot will come to 45 degrees. And then take a full breath in to lift the arms overhead, finding your warrior one. If you need a moment, check in with the hips, making sure that they're squaring towards the front of the mat. Always knowing that you can widen the stance if you're having a hard time pulling that left hip forward. And then those left toes are pointing to about 45 degrees towards that front left corner. Take an inhale, lifting through the arms. Exhale, bending that right knee. Another breath in and out. This inhale, palms touch. Exhale to bring them through heart center, planting them down to find your chaturanga. Maybe those right toes stay lifted. Maybe you step it back to that high to low push-up. Inhaling through up dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. Take one breath in and one breath out. Inhaling this time to lift through that left leg, finding three-legged dog variation of your choice. For me, I'm squaring off the hip, bending the knee. Of course, as I've said before, you can always find little pulses here. It's an added little movement you can bring into it, as if you're trying to stamp that left foot on the ceiling. Deep breath in, full exhale. Take one more inhale. And then as you breathe out, step that left foot through to the left hand. Right foot now comes to warrior one, 45 degrees in that back foot. And the arms can lift up, and they can always come to the hips, checking in, squaring them towards the front. Right toes pointing towards the front right corner this time. Inhaling, arms are lifted. Exhale, settling in. Another big breath in to fill up. And a big breath out. This breath in, palms touch, maybe you look up. And then exhale, hands through heart center to the mat. Find your chaturanga. Breathing in, cobra or up dog. Exhaling, Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale to take that right leg, to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale to step it through, finding that warrior one setup. Inhale to lift up, touching the palms. And then as you're ready, exhale to bring them to the low back. Maybe hands interlace here, and you lengthen the arms down the back to open through the shoulder blades. If that's a little too much, you can bring opposite hand to opposite elbow across the back. Finding a comfortable choice. Take a deep breath in, looking forward, and a full breath out. On this inhale, you'll tilt the chin up. Maybe you find a baby back bend here. Hands crawling down that left thigh. Exhale to stay. Take one more breath in, filling up. As you exhale, hinge, right shoulder coming inside that right knee to find your humble warrior. So if those hands are interlaced, they might now begin to float towards the back of your head. But that head is dropping inside that right foot, trying to keep warrior one shape in the legs, shoulders still squaring towards the mat. If it ever is too much, you can actually rest that right shoulder gently on the knee. Take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. One more inhale and exhale. This breath in, find a halfway lift. And then exhale to release the hands to the mat. You're staying here for just a moment on long arms. Breath in. And then as you exhale, you can step that left foot back to the ball of the foot and square off the hips into a runner's lunge. Take an inhale here to drop that back knee. Roll that heart open on fingertips. And then when you're ready, you can lift the arms overhead, finding a crescent moon. Bending deep into that right knee, but making sure that it's not going beyond that ankle. If you find that it is, you want to pull it back gently, make sure it's stacking over top. Deep breath in, full breath out. Another inhale to fill up. Then as you exhale, fingertips will come down. You'll peel this right leg back to straight and find a half split. Stacking that left hip over the knee. Right toes can either point forward or flex towards the face. Keeping that spine nice and long rather than rounding and hunching over yourself here. You can always tuck a block for support under that right leg. Deep breath in. Deep exhale. Take one more here. And one out. Inhale to re-bend. You'll tuck the back toes and lift the knee. And then as you're ready, this right hand is going to come inside the right foot. Left foot is going to spin parallel to the back, just like it did in that modified side plank. And then you're going to take an inhale and lift it into your extended side angle. So you may stay down deep with that right hand on a block or even on the mat inside the right foot and reach that left arm to the sky. Or you might bring that forearm up to the thigh and take the left arm up from there. Finding your option, place to begin. Maybe you take that left hand to the back right pocket for the half bind. A little deeper stretch in the left shoulder. Deep breath in, full breath out. Another inhale and exhale. Last one to stay. Breathe in, breathe out. On this inhale, you're going to reverse, taking that right arm to the sky. As you exhale, both arms will cartwheel down, finding a chaturanga. Right foot can step back to meet the left. Of course, you can drop the knees at any time. Deep inhale, up dog or cobra. And then exhaling to downward facing dog. Taking 2 breaths here. I'll take advantage and turn around. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more inhale. And exhale. On this breath in, left leg will lift, 3-legged dog. Take a full extension, and then as you exhale, square it off, step it through, warrior one. Right foot, 45 degrees. Breathe in, reaching overhead. And then exhaling, hands come either interlacing at the low back or crossing opposite hand to opposite elbow. Finding a comfortable option, knowing it might not be the same on both sides. Deep breath in, full breath out. This inhale, you might look up and open through the heart, finding a little back bend. Take an exhale to stay. Take one more breath in, fill up. And then as you exhale, hinge it down into your humble warrior. Left shoulder dropping just inside that left knee, head hanging heavy. Arms maybe beginning to fold towards the back of the head or perhaps across the back. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Keep the warrior one legs. Another inhale and exhale. This breath in, we find a halfway lift, hands to the low back, and then they'll release to the mat. Staying there for one inhale. And then exhale to step that right foot back to a runner's lunge on the ball of that foot. We'll take one inhale to roll the heart open and drop that right knee. And then as you exhale, lift it all the way up, crescent moon. Making sure that left ankle is not being overtaken by the knee. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more here. Breathing in and exhale. As you're ready, hands will come down, leg will straighten. Left leg nice and straight into that half split. Knowing you can add support under the back of the left leg. Finding sensation, but never pain. Taking 2 full breaths. On that third inhale, you will slowly rebend into that left knee. You can tuck the back toes and spin that foot flat. Then that left hand comes inside that foot for a side angle. Right arm will reach up to the sky. Maybe that hand stays low, or maybe that forearm comes up to the left thigh. Coming into it a little differently than we usually do, but settling in all the same, finding something that works that challenges you in the process. Breathe in, breathe out. Another inhale and exhale. And the last one to stay, breathe it in and exhale. On this breath in, we will reverse. The left arm comes up to the sky, stay deep in the left knee, and then exhale to cartwheel all the hands, both of them down to the mat, finding a chaturanga of your choice. Breathe in, up dog or cobra, and exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep exhale. Take one more here to breathe in and let it go. This inhale, right leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Exhale to step it through, warrior one. Inhale, palms lift, maybe touching overhead. And then exhale to come to the low back. Inhale, heart opens, arms straighten down the back. And then exhale to hinge into humble warrior. Take a breath in to a halfway lift, hands lower. And then drop them all together, set up the feet. And on your next breath in, peel that left arm open into your side angle pose. Maybe it's just a fraction deeper than it was last time. 2 breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. And exhale. This breath in, we reverse. Right arm to the sky. And then exhale, coming into warrior two. Arms come nice and long. Still bent into that right knee. Making sure you have that heel to arch alignment through the feet. Settling the gaze, breathe in and breathe out. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Another breath in to fill up and a full breath out. Flip that from palm. Inhale to reverse and straighten that right leg. Finding reverse Trikonasana, triangle pose. No weight on that back hand. Maybe it even comes around the low back, but it should feel a nice release through the right side. Breathing in and exhale. Take 1 more inhale. And then as you exhale, that right arm reaches towards the front of your mat. And then that back of that hand will come down inside the shin, finding your triangle pose. Maybe that left arm releases to the sky. Try to stack the shoulders and the wrists in a straight line. And always have a block under this bottom hand. But usually, if you just press it into the shin somewhere there, you can find just enough leverage to spin that left heart slightly open. Breath in, breath out. 1 more to stay. Inhale and exhale. Deep breath in, right arm lifts once again, reverse it, reach it up. And then as you exhale, begin to cartwheel. Step that left foot up about halfway on the mat, but turn all 10 toes towards the front, setting up for a pyramid pose. So feel free to wiggle out the feet as necessary. It's a little different for everyone, but you do want all 10 toes pointing forward, hips nice and square. You want what they say to be just enough space or lightness under this back foot. You could slide a credit card underneath. So point being, you don't want your stance so short that you have equal weight in the feet. It's mostly light on the back heel. I think that makes sense. I hope you know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, it really can't feel bad. It's a nice stretch through the back of the legs, both feet squaring towards the front. And it's just like that half split we did in the sense that you're trying not to round the spine here. It's more that you want to keep it lengthening. Some say your forehead should come to that front knee. I just think that's imaginary for my body. So I concentrate on reaching my spine nice and long. Gives me plenty of stretch through the back leg. Take 1 more breath in, 1 more breath out. On your next inhale, slowly bend into that right knee. Step the left foot to meet the right. Big toes are touching. We're going to take an inhale or 2 to roll ourselves up to standing, stacking the spine 1 vertebrae at a time. No rush to get all the way to the top. Head will be the last rise. Finding that Tadasana mountain pose, taking a breath here, closing the eyes if you'd like. Inhale and exhale. Weight will come into that left foot. I'm going to step onto the floor here. Take a breath in to lift that right knee to the chest, maybe reaching the arms up overhead. Then that right thigh will cross over the left. You'll bring that right elbow underneath the left elbow to find your eagle pose. Now the more you can squeeze those thighs together, the more stability it will give you here. You want to keep those elbows lifting towards the chin, trying to keep those biceps parallel with the floor. If it's too much to wrap the hands here, you can just bring crossing at the elbows and touching the opposite shoulders. But you're trying to stay strong in the belly. Keep that spine stacked nice and tall. Deep breath in, deep breath out. 1 more, inhale and exhale. Breath in, see if you can unravel, same way you came in, reaching up, lifting the knee, and then exhale to come all the way down through a fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale to find your way through your chaturanga, high to low push-up. All of us meeting in a downward facing dog. Hips lifting towards the sky. We'll take a breath in and a breath out. 1 more here. Inhale And exhale. This breath in, the left leg lifts to your three-legged dog. Exhale to step it through. Find your warrior one feet. Full breath in to come up. Maybe the palms touch overhead. Exhale to interlace or cross on the back. Breath in to roll the heart open. And then exhale to hinge into that humble warrior. Take an inhale to a halfway lift, hands to the low back. And then set up the feet, do what you need to find that heel to arch alignment. Left hand comes inside the left foot. Inhale, that right arm peels up into your extended side angle. Maybe you stay just a little deeper. 2 rounds of breath here, finding what you need. Inhale and exhale. Full breath in, full breath out. As you inhale, we'll reverse. Take that left arm to the sky, stay deep in the knee. And then exhale, settle in, warrior 2. No relief yet for that left leg. Arms are strong, settle the gaze. Breathe in, breathe out. Shoulders are relaxed, 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Last one to stay, take a full breath, fill the lungs. And slowly rinse. This breath in, we reverse and straighten that left leg. Reverse Trikonasana. Maybe that right arm comes behind the back. Deep breath in. Full breath out. One more here. Inhale. And exhale. Whew. Take a final breath in. This exhale, you'll hinge it forward, reaching towards the front of the mat with the left hand. And then exhaling to bring that left hand all the way down to the shin. Maybe that right arm releases to the sky for your triangle pose. Triangle in the legs, of course. Trying to find a little bit of leverage there with that bottom hand so you can gently begin to open the right side of your heart to the sky. Breath in, breath out. One more, inhale and exhale. Then breathe it in, lift it up once again to reverse. Exhaling to come into our pyramid pose. So you can step your way into it, all 10 toes pointing towards the front of the room. I have about 2 to 2.5 feet between my front heel and my back toes. And you're nice and light on that back heel. Maybe you clip the hips, take a breath in, and then exhale and hinge it all the way down. Nice hamstring stretch for the back of the left leg. Finding fingertips, maybe they crawl towards the back of the mat and that forehead comes to the knee. Everyone's pyramid is a little different, so just find the stretch that you need. 2 more breaths. On that third inhale, you'll gently lift about halfway and then step the right foot to meet the left. Big toes touch, stay soft in the knees, and take 2 inhales to roll your way to standing. No rush at all to get there. Head and shoulders be the last to rise. Roll those shoulders down the back. Open the palms by the side. Take a deep breath in. And a big breath out. This time, the weight will come into the right foot. As we inhale, arms lift with that left knee towards the chest. Then on the exhale, that left thigh crosses over the right. Left elbow wraps under the right elbow for our eagle pose. Once again, stay nice and strong in the belly. Stacking that spine, not punching into it here. Squeezing those legs for stability. Left toes can always come down as a kickstand. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. 2 more to stay. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath in. Full breath out. On the next inhale, we slowly unravel, lifting the left knee. And then exhale, bring it all through center to a fold at the top of the mat. Toe heel those feet out wide, hip width or mat width. Setting up for a nice ragdoll pose. It's very, very simple. The knees bend deeply. Bring opposite hand to opposite elbow, and then let that head go between the arms. You might gently twist or sway side to side, maybe bending one leg, straightening the other, just finding some gentle movement, or maybe just centering its stillness and letting the weight of the shoulders do the work. Taking 2 or 3 breaths here, finding a little release. Gently releasing the hands down, toe heeling those feet back together to touch. Then once again, exaggerate your way up to standing. No rush whatsoever. 1 vertebrae at a time. Chin eventually lifts. We'll flow our way through a final vinyasa together. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Exhale to fold or swan dive through center. Inhale to your halfway lift, and then exhale to plant the palms and find a chaturanga, maybe dropping the knees. Big breath in, upward dog or cobra. Deep breath out, find your downward facing dog. Deep breath in here, and a full exhale. Next breath in, right leg lifts to hip height. As you exhale, bend that right knee, bend it, and then pull it forward till it comes to the right wrist. Bringing both legs down to the mat, setting up for a half pigeon. Those left toes will crawl backwards slightly so that you're extending through that front of the left hip. And then making sure that the hips are squaring towards the floor once again. Maybe taking that block and tucking under the right hip for support if you need it. We'll take an inhale to find long arms and open the heart. As you exhale, come down to your own level of comfort. Maybe forearms on the mat, maybe lying all the way down. Whatever your body needs this evening, we're gonna find 5 or 6 rounds of breath here. So settle into a place that gives you sensation. And take some of your fullest breaths so far. On your next inhale, slowly begin to walk back up to long arms. We will just tuck the toes on that back foot, lift the right leg to unravel, maybe pedal it out for a moment. And then eventually switching sides by lifting the left toes. And then as you're ready, they come to the left wrist, just coming on to the other side of your half pigeon. Right toes walk back to lengthen. Maybe you add a block somewhere for support as the hips square off. We'll take an inhale to fill up, exhaling to come down into the stretch, settling in, just breathing into it. Maybe imagining that breath really is a wave. Every inhale flows into that tight left hip, rinsing it out and cleansing it, filling it with new energy, and that exhale carries away all the stillness that was stored there. On your next breath in, slowly walk it back up to your long arms. Of course, you are welcome to tuck the right toes and inhale that left leg up. Or you might just roll onto that left hip and bring that right leg around in front of you. Extending those legs long, toes flexing towards the face. Really engaging those legs, pressing the back of them into the mat. We'll take an inhale to reach overhead and then breathe out. Maybe just letting the weight of your body do the work for you here, not even pulling yourself into the fold. Just let those hands drape along the sides of the legs, palms up, breath in, breath out. One more inhale, and then exhale, slowly make your way onto your back. Bringing the knees into the chest, giving them a little squeeze, maybe rolling slowly side to side. Maybe cactusing those arms, bending at the elbows and turning the palms up, or taking them out to a T with the palms facing down. We'll take a breath in here at center, and then exhale to let the knees drop over to the right, rolling onto that hip. The gaze will turn towards the left hand. Eyes can be closed, and the shoulder blades will stay evenly on the mat here. Twisting through the spine, taking 2 or 3 full rounds of breath. On the next inhale, the knees slowly draw back through center, and then exhaling, they'll come over to the left. Gaze will turn to the right arm. Shoulder blades will stay down, and if you need a little bit more, that left hand can come on top of the right knee. 2 or 3 rounds of breath. Breathing in, the knees come back to center. Maybe give them a squeeze if you need it on the low back, but otherwise the feet will release down, coming to hip width for our back bends. We're going to find 2 this evening. If you're not sure where hip width is, you can bring the feet together and then toe heel them apart once. The first one will be a traditional bridge, and the second will be supported. So maybe you keep that block or a pillow handy if you'd like to join me for that second. But we'll all begin here with the arms long beside us, taking a breath in to prepare the spine. Then as you exhale, pressing into the feet, lift the hips towards the sky. For your in traditional bridge, those hands can press into the mat right behind the heels, or as we did earlier in the humble warrior, you can interlace the hands, press the arms into the mat, and then use that as a little leverage to lift the hips. Taking 3 or 4 full Buddha belly breaths. Dramatic inhales and exhales to help stretch through the front of the body. After that last exhale, slowly unravel and lower the hips down. Cactusing the arms once again, feet will step out about 6 inches, and then you'll just windshield wiper the knees gently side to side. Maybe 1 more pass in each direction. Then we'll set up for our second back bend. Feet back to hip width distance, heels close back into the body. Maybe that block is beside you here. We'll set it up the same way. Of course, you're welcome to make it a wheel. We'll inhale to prepare. Then as you exhale, press into the feet, lift those hips. Maybe that block comes at its tallest or middle height under that low back for support. Taking about 4 full Buddha belly breaths, really dramaticizing the inhales. After that last round of breath, you can gently lift the hips, remove the block, and lower down to the mat. The knees will bend once again, feet coming towards the face, but the hands will come to the edges of the feet, set up for dead bug, stacking those ankles right over the knees, maybe pressing them a little wider with the elbows, but then pulling down on the feet, really concentrating on working the low back and maybe even the tailbone towards the mat. This is really meant to be a low back opener. Should feel pretty good through the hips too, of course. Rooting at center, closing the eyes, take a breath in and out. One more. Then if you'd like, you might slowly roll side to side into that happy baby, massaging the spine as you roll side to side and try to keep as much of the spine pinned to the mat as possible. Eventually coming back to center, releasing the feet, coming into your Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet come together. Knees will just splay apart, gravity naturally taking them towards the floor. Take a moment, bring one hand to the heart and one to the belly. Just find a few breaths, letting gravity take over the body completely. Seeing if there's any last little bit of stress or effort, tension you can let go of here this evening. In just a moment, we're going to find a restorative inversion, and then we'll be settling into a Shavasana from there. Taking 2 or 3 more quiet breaths in the meantime. If you're more than comfortable where you are and you just want to stay, that's totally fine. Feel free to do so. Otherwise, I would encourage you to find a restorative inversion for the next few minutes. You can take that block now to its lowest height and tuck it under the low back for supported shoulder stand. That's a nice little opener for that low back, and then the feet just lift from there. But if you don't have a block handy and you happen to be near a wall, you might take the other option and just turn yourself towards it. Bring the hips to the base of the wall and take the legs up. If you've never tried this legs up the wall stretch, I would encourage you to do so. Maybe there's not enough room to do it when you're practicing in a studio, or you just always felt ridiculous or didn't want to move the mat. Well, now is the time. You're at home, no one can see you. It feels just wonderful because it brings support to the length of the legs. You can splay them as much as you'd like or as little as you'd like. Maybe cactus those arms. About 10 breaths in this inversion. welcome to stay wherever you are if those legs are lifted. Or maybe you would like to bring them back down to the mat and settle into your Shavasana, your final relaxation. Maybe finding that pose by taking the palms wide and open, letting the feet splay apart. Just making yourself take up a little space. Beginning to soak up all the hard work you've done for yourself this evening. We'll be settling in for about 3.5 minutes of Shavasana. So just lie on back, and I'll give you a little shout when we have about a minute left. About 1 minute remaining. If you're comfortable where you are, maybe you stay right there for a few more moments. Or otherwise, maybe you come onto the right side and find the fetal position for your last few moments of stillness. I have a brief reading for you this evening. If you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And if you don't step forward, you're always in the same place. Taking one more breath in and a deep breath out. If you haven't already, you can begin to make your way to a seated position at the top of the mat. Eyes can stay closed for a moment. Hands can come to heart center for a moment of gratitude. I want to thank you all for sharing your practice with me tonight. I hope you enjoy your weekend and you stay safe and sound. Together we'll take an inhale to lift our thumbs to the third eye and open our hearts. And as we exhale, we'll bow and say, Namaste. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining me tonight. I hope you had a great class, as I did. I will see you soon, and enjoy your Friday Eve. And don't mind my chubby little friend.